Is everyone able to hear me? All right, perfect. So my name is Philip, and today I will be taking you through some tips and tricks on drawing in EnRoute. We'll do so by trying to recreate this technical drawing we have on screen here. We'll be using build 6.1.0.20. Let me just... So I received this drawing from my US colleague, so I've taken the liberty to converting all of the units to centimeters to make it easy on all of us. So yeah, let's get started. As you can see, if you're trying to recreate or trying to draw a technical drawing in EnRoute, it's of course useful to have all of the measurements for accuracy. So to start out, I would say we'll just get a rectangle in here. And then if we hit F2, that will bring up our precision input center where we can put in the actual measurements for the rectangle. So we've got 12.7 centimeters there. And then we'll check off proportional and we'll set that to 762 centimeters right here. Of course, you would also have the possibility to draw this with a polyarc tool. So you would just put a point here and then draw each segment. So in that case, we would start by taking 12.7 minus 3.5. So we'll come to 9.2. So at an angle of 0 by 9.2, and we'll hit OK. And then, of course, we can draw our next segment going up by 90 with a length of 7.62. And then going left again, an angle of 90, and then with a length of 12.7. So, and then of course we would want to go left again. So again by 90, and with a length of 3.05. 3.05. And then once more to the left by 3.5. And then of course go down by 7.62 minus 3.05, which would be going to the right, minus 90, and then we will get 4.57. So then you would get the shape like this, and you could put this radius on there with the fillet corners tool. So then we select both here. We already have the radius of 0.686 set, and we could apply that there. Of course, this method, it's going to take a little longer. So in EnRoute, there's always multiple ways to draw the same thing. So, for example, another way we could just calculate the size of the rectangle that has to be cut out from here. So we can get another rectangle on screen. And then with the precision input center, we'll make it 40x 3.5, and then again 4.57 here. And then we could enable our snapping tools, use our move objects function, and then take the bottom left corner and put that on here. So then we could select both of them. So first this one, and then the one that we'd like to subtract from it. And we could weld subtract to get this shape. Or alternatively, we could simply use the jigsaw weld tool and just drag out this shape from there. Then again, you can also use the absolute coordinates. So what we would then have to do is get our rectangle again on screen. So 12.7 by 7.62. Okay, and then the bottom left corner, we would move to 0, 0. And then we could, for one, work with guidelines. So I would drag the guidelines in here. So we'll edit this, put this on X 3.5, move. Then we're done with that one. And then this guideline we would have to put at Y 4.57. Just get rid of this one. And then we could actually turn on our snap to guidelines and then go into our rectangle tool. We can already create the rectangle with the radius of 0.686. And then just simply draw the rectangle over our guidelines. And then again, we can select them and then either use our weld subtract or our jigsaw weld to draw the shape from it. Preferably, I like to work with snaps because it's the easiest way to work, and you will have to do the least amount of calculations as well. So once we have our shape on screen, or our outline really, we can start adding the other shapes in there. So first of all, we'll have to create the circles we have right here. So we'll have a circle of 0.95. The radius of 0.95, so we'll have to do 0.95 divided by 2, which will get us this one. And then we also have 3 circles with the radius of 0.64, or with a diameter of 0.64. So we'll get that of 0.32, and we'll get these on screen as well. So as you can see here, we'll have the distance in between these 2 circles of 3.81, which we can just make a multi-copy of this one. We'll set 2 rows, and we'll set a vertical distance of 3.81. And if we hit apply, we already have that distance perfectly. So then we can group these together, and we'll choose our snap to center of an arc and snap to endpoint here. And what we can then do is simply, wait one moment, so we'll select this one. All right, let me just move that back here. And then we'll move relative from this point, and we'll snap that on the edge right here. And then if, again, we choose to move relative from this point, we can simply put in those measurements that we have here and here. So that would be 5.72 by y in the negative 1.71. And there we go. We would already have those in the right position. Then we can actually do the same thing with our larger circle here. So we'll put that on here. We'll select again the point, the relative origin. And then we will simply add 1.43 there. And then in the y, we'll also add, or subtract really, 1.43. putting it in the correct location. And then because we still have center of arcs active, we can simply move this one right in the center of our circle that we've already placed in the correct position. So then for our last object right here, we would have to create a rectangle. So we already have our radius, makes it easier. So we'll just get that on screen and then put in the right dimensions here. So we'll go for 1.64 in the X and 3.81 in the Y. Okay. And then actually we can move this in the same way with the snap tools as well. So we'll snap to endpoint. So we can go here and move objects, move them relative, or we'll actually move corner right here. We'll select the top left corner, and then we'll just make it snap onto the corner right here. So after that, we can actually take any point on here and move that relative according to these measurements. So we'll move this corner, and then we'll go in the X 8.06. And in the Y, we'll go down by 1.64. And like that, we've pretty easily created the shape that we require. So I would say with the snap tools, it's the easiest way to work. Of course, if you like working with absolute coordinates, you can also just move it to 0, 0 via the precision input center. Or you would also have the possibility to just, if you have a numpad, hit Control 1 for this, which will move it down. And as you can see, move it across the plate by hitting Control 1, Control 4, Control 7, 8, 6, and so on. So if you're looking at your numpad, it will make more sense than if you're just hitting the keys on top of your keyboard. If you ever run into any issue into finding out how to work with a function, of course, you can always check out our YouTube channel. But in EnRoute, we also have these the right-click videos. So whenever you have a function, you can simply right-click on it, and that'll bring up a video that will teach you on how to use them. So you have that for snaps, for the Fillet tool, and basically most functions in EnRoute have this possibility. So from my side, that was basically most of it. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask them. And of course, your questions do not have to relate to this topic. So for the merge selection, there is no shortcut for that. So if there is a shortcut for a function, then you'll see it written next to the option in the menu. So If there are any other questions, or if you would like me to elaborate on a certain function we've used, or anything that wasn't clear, please feel free to ask. Okay, so unless there are any questions, then I think we can conclude today's webinar, and I'll let you get on with your day. If anyone thinks of anything, you can always reach us through the support mailbox. Or, of course, you could call the office as well. So for downloading the latest version, you can simply browse to www.saicloud.com and log on to your SAI Cloud account. And if you're having any issues logging in, then you can just reach out to us and we'll get you sorted out. The video will be posted on our YouTube channel, and you should also receive a link to it after the webinar, once it has been uploaded. So the tools we've just gone over, they'll be available in any version 6 of EnRoute, and version 5 as well. All of these should be possible to do from your Plus level, yes. All right, so unless there are any further questions, I will be concluding the webinar for today. You're welcome. For Mark, you could make this 3D, but this is actually a shape that it would be a lot faster to route in 2D if you already have the right thickness of material. All right. You're welcome. So unless there's anything else, I will now be concluding the webinar, and I'm wishing you a pleasant rest of your day.